All rectangles are similar. What fraction of the design is red? Let's call this side x and this side 1. Because the long side of the small rectangle is the same length as the short side of the larger rectangle next to it, we know that the short side of the larger rectangle is also x. Because the rectangles are similar, the ratio between their corresponding sides must be equal. Since the short side of the smaller rectangle has length 1, and the short side of the larger rectangle has length x, the ratio between those sides is x. Therefore, we can multiply the longer side of the smaller rectangle by x to find the length of the longer side of the larger rectangle, which gives us x squared. We can repeat this process with the rest of the rectangles to find their side lengths as well. Now that we know all of the side lengths, let's solve for x. We know the long side of the yellow rectangle is x to the fourth, and must be equal to the sum of the lengths of the rectangles above it. That tells us that x to the fourth is equal to 2x squared plus 3. First, let's move all of the terms to one side of the equation. Then we can factor it into x squared minus 3 and x squared plus 1. The solutions from the first factor are plus and minus square root of 3, and the solution from the second factor is the square root of negative 1. The length of a rectangle can't be negative, and the square root of negative 1 isn't a real number, so x must be the square root of 3. Now we can find the areas of the rectangles in terms of x. Adding the areas of all the rectangles together gives us 48 times the square root of 3. And adding the areas of all the red rectangles gives us 12 times the square root of 3. This means that the fraction of the design that is red is 1/4.